primetime Poulton, keep it entertaining. You already knowin', outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Viking Whoop, U.S. Assassin, doing just what he loves. This is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar. No, I'm not frontin'. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is primetime Poulton. This is primetime Poulton. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. It can only mean one thing. We're talking La Pod Gods, and we're talking WWE Raw and NXT. And I got the one, the only Cowboy Phil McNulty with me. What's up, Cowboy?
Not much. It was a decent week for WWE television. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. And it all started with Crown Jewel, which I think it took a lot of people by surprise.
I have one complaint about that show. And it's something we talked about for weeks now. Xavier Woods. This was his chance, right? I thought Balor was going to win. So first off, poor decision on you, WWE, for only pitching the Demon King for like 5 years now and not making the Demon King king. Second of all, I don't believe Xavier Woods is ever beating Finn Balor, let alone other competition. So it's going to have to take a while before they build him up. Thirdly, why didn't you have it be Kofi? This is if they start the heel turn on this, you had your prime time chance to make it happen and actually have him beat, Kofi Kingston, and that makes it more believable for him to beat a Finn Balor. But outside of that, the streak continues. Goldberg put on a pretty good match, probably his best match since that return a few years ago.
Yeah.
Not a bad show.
Yeah, no, that Goldberg match was entertaining. Mr. Crown Jewel, Mansoor, killing it. A good match by him.
Good. Very good match by him. I was surprised.
Yeah. And then an entertaining main event with Roman and Brock and Paul Heyman in the middle of it.
That's the only thing I was trying to check out when I was checking out this pay-per-view was I really wanted to see the Brock Roman match, and they did not disappoint.
No, not at all. We got Leroy in the chat. He said he will buy a stream involving comic talk. Leroy, you're in luck. I actually have a few comic things to talk about. Last episode, we did an unboxing, Don Shin's Beard Zerker. I got a couple more books in the mail right afterwards. I already opened these up because I couldn't wait for the next La Pod Gods. But I got in, check this out, Phil. I got The Expendables Go to Hell.
Beautiful.
By Richard Meyer, Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan, and the man himself, Sylvester Stallone. This cover right here, this is by my guy Renzo Rodriguez.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. But it came with a whole bunch of cool stuff. I got this Expendables patch, dog tags, some trading cards, this awesome Dave Dorman sticker of Sly, little bookmark of Jason Statham, a couple posters too. This poster, I believe, is by I want to say Aaron Alfeche, Graveyard Shift 3's own Aaron Alfeche, and then a poster of Renzo's piece. And then I also got in Sunsworn. Look at this nice shipping box, Phil.
It's a great box. Does it beat Eddie's box though?
I don't know, man. Eddie's box, kind of raised the bar, but this is really nice. We got the Sunsworn graphic novel, sticker, some nice trading cards, foil trading cards, little button, and some prints. So great job by the Sunsworn team. Leroy's in the chat. He's saying no. He wants you to talk about comics. He says you have better taste than me.
All right, let's talk about New 52 DC. Let's talk about Savage Hawkman. Well, wait a second. Who do we have here to talk about Savage?
Leroy says nothing beats Eddie's box. It's sexy AF.
Agreed.
So I'm reading something for Leroy. He made a stink about how I have never read Long Halloween.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
So I was in the comic shop. I was in my local comic shop on Friday, and they had a 40% off sale. And what do I see? The new hardcover collection of Long Halloween. I was like, what the hell? It's like fate. So I purchased it. I've been reading it, and I'm actually really enjoying it. You know why I think I never read it? I think back when it came out, I was probably turned off by Tim Sale's artwork. Because you know me, I'm a 90s guy. I like my cross hatching, and I like my superstars, my Liefeld, my Jim Lee, my McFarlanes. So, but no, I enjoy his work. Tim Sale used to draw Deathblow back in the day.
You want to know? So I love Tim Sale because when I was at New York Comic Con, I was part of the RZ. Here's the throwback: the RZG Comics booth doing the Blue Sultan. Right around the corner was Tim Sale. So I went over to Tim and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" Right? He's like, "Good." And I said, "Oh, what kind of like tips do you have for me?" Awesome to take a look at all my stuff. Right? I'm a big Spider-Man Blue fan. I love that one. Which is another Loeb Sale combo. So I asked him. I said, "Do you have like any cool tricks for me?" Right? And he said, "You see my Batman? See my Batman? It's shit." He goes, "I can't draw a Batman as good as Jim." He goes, "I'll never be able to draw a Batman as good as Jim." He goes, "But you know what I can do? And that's tell a story. And ain't nobody gonna tell a better story than me." And that's what sort of made, the light bulb upon my head go off, was because I thought, that's what I need to make my bread and butter. I need to make my storytelling, my bread and butter as well.
Yeah. I had a feeling I would enjoy the story. I mean, Jeff Loeb wrote my all-time favorite Batman story, which is Hush.
Yep.
So it's a great story. I like the artwork more than I thought I would. So yeah, I'm on chapter 10. So I still haven't figured out who Holiday is. But I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to find out. We got Past Master Dan in the house. He's here to scoff and scorn at us. Enjoy. And he wants to know, Phil, do you have a Cadillac with cow horns on it?
No, I have a blue Mazda hatchback with a Dallas Cowboys star on it. So close enough.
And one last comic thing before we get into talking wrestling. Phil, did you know U.S. Assassin 3 is still in demand? Last time we talked, we were at 43,000. Now we're at 44,000.
Would you say the hottest, starring the hottest free agent in professional wrestling today?
Breaking news, yeah. Ring of Honor. They sent out a release that they're going to have to reevaluate their business. Their December pay-per-view is going to be the last thing they do until April. So what does that mean for their wrestlers?
They released all of their roster, all of them.
Wow!
Every single wrestler signed on. Still a lot of good, relationships with ROH. It's just that they couldn't keep up. I think AEW really was as good as it's been for wrestling fans and for television. It sort of killed the ROHs and the MLWs because the forbidden door is open and they're getting those talents to come on in. So,
well, you know where I'm hoping Flip lands. He has a lot of friends.
Oh, he would be. Can you imagine? He would immediately be in the TNT Championship rotation. He is that damn good.
Yeah, no. This could be very exciting. not just for Flip, but for a lot of talent. You know, speaking of Flip, he's involved in U.S. Assassin Book 3 Graveyard Shift. Plenty of perks, especially if you're a Flip Gordon fan. There is the Mercenary Fan Pack, which gets you the photo cover of Flip right here, plus the Mercenary One Shot and the signed print by Flip Gordon for $75. There it is right there. But our featured tier is the Fan Pack. For $125, you get 5 books. Mike McMahon's cover to Book 3, Matt Martin's beautiful cover to Book 3, the collected edition that combines U.S. Assassin 1 and 2, black and white edition of Book 3, and the Mercenary Bazooka Dog flip book. Phil, did you know tonight I am sending the trading cards and prints off to our printer, and I should be sending some of the books as early as this week off to the printer. We just ended this campaign.
Listen, there is no better turnaround than the moral compass.
No, they call me the fulfillment king for a reason, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get a Macho King crown, but take the Macho off and put fulfillment across the front.
I think it'll work
all the time. And I'm not just talking about streaming. Out in public, grocery shopping, at my day job, I would wear that crown.
Would you get the jacket with the streamers so you can actually be like, I'm a fulfillment king and a streamer?
Yeah, scepter, I would go all out. Leroy and Pastor Master Dan are having their own little conversation in the chat. Past Master Dan just likes saying wrestling. It's a fun word to say.
Mm-hmm.
Leroy, he doesn't know why he's here. He doesn't watch wrestling.
Because we're good entertainment, at least.
Absolutely. Past Master Dan says, I used to love it. It was a simpler time. Come back to simpler times. You don't have to grow up. You can watch Men in Tights, And
oily men grabbing other oily men that are good guys and bad guys.
I missed part of the conversation, but Leroy says he's raw dogging some pickles right now. Sounds inappropriate. Leroy says that's true. TMC gets this shit done.
Mm-hmm.
And Past Master Dan's dad was friends with Dick the Bruiser. That's awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now that talk about inappropriate.
Man, we're 13 minutes in. We haven't even talked any WWE results yet. So
all right,
let's remedy that. Let's dive into WWE Raw.
Mm-hmm.
The chat's demanding we talk wrestling results. So let's kick off with what I considered a very good episode of Monday Night Raw. And, nothing new, nothing groundbreaking. Mm-hmm. Kicks off the new era with the champ coming out, and he needs challengers. So wouldn't you know it, all the new challengers just happen to walk out. We got Seth Rollins, we got Rey Mysterio, we got Finn Balor, and we got Kevin Owens.
Do you know what those 4 have in common?
Did they all lose to Roman Reigns?
They yes, that too, but they all lost their last televised matches. So do any of these guys really deserve a shot? Then again, it's the WWE. It's a new season, as the background would tell us. It was the season premiere. So I guess all the records go back to 0.
Yeah, KO's hot off his angle where he's constantly losing to Happy Corbin. Seth Rollins just lost to Edge. Rey Mysterio can't even get on the same page with his son. And Finn Balor lost to Xavier Woods. And Roman Reigns. Yeah, geez.
I guess did you pick the winner? Did you kind of say, I know who's going to win this match later tonight?
Yeah, especially when it's 3 baby faces and 1 heel, and we got a babyface champion.
And the guy, I got to give it to him. The guy gets all the title shots in the world. He does somehow being in that upper mid card. I don't think I've ever seen him as a main eventer. Somehow he gets those main event matches all the time.
Yeah. And people seem to like this new gimmick, even though I can't stand it.
No, I
The
can't.
Drip King or whatever. Come on. He's no John
The,
Morrison.
right. Poor Morrison not only had his girlfriend stolen in the WWE at the time, now he has his gimmick stolen. The guy
Yeah.
can't catch a break.
We got Johnny Cage in the chat. He says, so Ashley Flair and AEW win? Oh, man, I bet she can't wait to go. You heard about her.
Oh,
and,
Becky and the whole shouting match. And now Sonya Deville wanted a piece of Flair as well.
Sonya Deville could take out both of them.
Of course. I just, and then Andrade, her future husband, tweets out "F you WWE." So they are just, I've never seen a person want to get fired more than anybody else, and I think a lot of that is she did it for her brother, and her dad's no longer part of the company. Her fiance's no longer part of the company. Ric Flair has signed a deal with AEW. They just haven't announced it because of Dark Side of the Ring, but his likeness and stuff has already been signed for like video games. So she's done everything there. Is there any real incentive to stay at this point? Especially if by accident she drops the belt and then everyone says, "Oh, you're big dog and me." I thought it was very entertaining television. That was one of the few spots of Charlotte I enjoyed in years.
Well, I kind of agreed with her saying that, they should, if they're going to exchange belts, they should do it at the same time. Becky shouldn't get to seem more important than her. Charlotte's, way more, acclaimed or, has a way better track record than Becky Lynch.
Right.
And from what I've heard, like Charlotte wanted to drop the title to Bianca Belair.
And then she wanted Becky to drop the belt to Sasha, like we thought they would do, because that's what happens. You put talent over. That's how you make actually matches interesting, when people who win instead of lose all the time.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Charlotte Flair. This time next year, is Charlotte Flair still in WWE, Phil?
What's that?
This time next year, is Charlotte still in WWE?
No. I think what we've seen of the past actual week of WWE, they're sort of pushing the reset button themselves. They may do an ROH soon enough.
Leroy says it's fun to mute and pretend Phil is talking about used cars. Oh, man. So they had Sonya Deville come out and announce this 4-way ladder match between the top contenders. You know who should have did it? We have freaking royalty in Raw now. We have Queen Zelina Vega. Why isn't she making all the proclamations?
Because that's too creative for the WWE. They have really, I think what we've seen over the last couple months with the introduction of AEW over the last couple years as well, is that the talent knows what they're doing. It's the fact that they got one guy who is making sure that no one can be themselves, trying to keep the company above stars, when wrestling has always been a star-driven company. It's the reason why people watched the wrestling in the 80s, because Hulk Hogan. People watched in the 90s because of The Rock and Stone Cold, right? In the early 2000s, why people jumped on with John Cena. There was a point where they were hitting, even after the Attitude ended, about like 6 million viewers. And then they started to make sure that that John Cena was the last great one. So they started to sacrifice their talents.
Yeah. There's someone who's getting over. He's not on Raw though.
True.
And I think he finally decided to speak up for himself and not do corny stuff or say bang zoom or whatever dumb stuff they wrote for him.
Boy.
Yeah. All right. So we have our main event set. We then go to tag team championship match. We have it's
the number one contenders match between the Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and your favorite, and apparently Leroy's favorite, the Dirty Dogs.
Yeah. So Ziggler and Rude get the victory over the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. I'm all for more Ziggler and Rude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them taking the belts off RK Bro though.
No, I don't think. And we had later in this. We all knew this was just a match to set it up.
Yeah. So did you see Ziggler posted someone posted an old picture of Ziggler and he said, "Oh, back when I used to be good."
Right.
He's just cashing a paycheck.
Yeah, I think he's done what he wanted to do. He got his World Heavyweight Championship. He realizes they're never going to give him that sort of faith again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
But we've already talked how we could rebuild him over on AEW as the Nemeth brothers. He could be main eventing against the Young Bucks.
That's a good. That would be. Ziggler would sell every super kick like he's getting his head kicked off.
Yeah. And delivering super kicks.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, the coronation. I already spoiled it. Zelina Vega. She's the new queen. She defeated Doudrop, which we were shocked. We thought we were getting Queen Doudrop, but no.
Don't worry. If you like rematches, you'll get to see it again.
Yeah, but Zelina, yep, she drops Doudrop again. Good for her. Poor Doudrop, she just can't catch a break. She got that little push over Shayna Baszler, who legit could kick anybody's ass in WWE.
This is booking 101 at its finest when you have Doudrop beat Shayna Baszler just to put Zelina Vega over. No, that's terrible. I was being sarcastic. It's the total opposite of what you wanted to do, but it seems like Shayna Baszler is going to prevail in the end because Flair is not keeping that title.
All right. Next up, we get a segment with Becky Lynch in the ring. And she's bragging how she defeated Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Bianca Belair comes out. Man, I cannot stand Becky Lynch anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They ruined a great character. Do you remember, what was it, 2 years ago when she became the man? Got the busted nose, standing in the crowd. That was an iconic moment. Now she has like they talk about X-Pac heat. I never hated X-Pac, but man, I hate Becky Lynch. I want her off my TV.
She's trying to be the second coming of Roman Reigns, and it's falling flat. Like, this is where we talked about Stone Cold didn't care about us. Remember? He was like, give me a hell yeah. All he cared about was beers and winning the title, because winning the title made bigger paychecks, right?
Yeah.
The fact, as soon as she cut the "you people" line, that's when whatever we liked about Becky died, because she could have just done it against anybody, heel or face. Bianca Belair is a really good face, so having those dueling chants is not a bad thing.
Yeah. Johnny Cage says we need Nia to rearrange her nose again. That'll get her over.
Hell yeah.
Leroy agrees with you. Next up, Damian Priest versus TBar. Man, what a perfect time to give TBar a makeover, but no, he's still TBar.
As much as I'm going to sound like a hypocrite for this, as much as I've been wanting them to go back to him being Dijak and being the actual legit shoot fighter that he is, because he's a really good one. He's a really good professional wrestler, really good on the mic. I loved this out of Damian Priest. This is his shot to the main event. This is the slow heel turn, because this will be the only viable option if they want to take the title off of Big E. Yeah. This is the guy to do it. And I've said it. I'm glad to be a hipster when it comes to Damian Priest. I liked him when he was Punishment Martinez. I love his Archer of Infamy gimmick. They gave him a new generic entrance music, whatever, but I love the different presentation. The guy has it. I'm so excited for the future of Damian Priest. And this is where it made me think, okay, WWE, this could be where you actually have some foresight.
Right. Yeah, but come on, let's get TBar a gimmick change.
Let's.
He has to get that face paint off him.
I think this was a good chance for him to be written off for a while.
Yep,
and then come back.
absolutely.
Have the feast your eyes promos, vignettes come up, and he'll be good.
Next up, we have Liv Morgan versus Carmella. You know what's great? If you weren't tired of this feud on SmackDown, now you can be tired of it on Raw.
Because you know what? They think that they're dueling brands, and they are not.
Yep, Carmella, she gets the victory. Her and her face mask to protect her face. She's basically doing the Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes when he was hideously disfigured by Rey Mysterio.
You know what? I had a different thought. Remember Batman 89, right? Michael Keaton. Remember that scene after the Joker sitting at dinner with Vicky Vale?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, here, I'm a bit of an artist myself. And he brings in the woman with just...
yeah.
That's what this mask reminds me of. It reminds me of, like, the Joker distortion mask.
Good call, Phil. And we pull in, make a comic connection.
There we go.
Leroy's his heart's just probably...
Oh, look at, he heard Batman and he was like, what?
And, congratulations to Carmella, though. She just got engaged to Corey Graves, I believe, this past weekend.
I'm not hating the gimmick either.
Yeah, no. Just let's get a new feud going.
Right. For the season premiere, you didn't think you want to keep
going
on with the trash
fresh. We want something fresh. We want something new. Speaking of fresh and new, we get it this next match. We get my man, the Bearcat, Keith Lee, just destroying Cedric Alexander. That's what a Bearcat would do. He would just destroy his opponent.
Did Vince really have to give him a stupid nickname to take him back to what he was in NXT? You know what I mean? This is NXT Keith Lee with a terrible gimmick.
What are you talking about, Phil? He's fast like a cat. He's powerful like a bear. He's a Bearcat.
Yeah. Right.
I'm 100% on board with
they could just get rid of, but they doubled. I mean,
let's just drop Keith Lee, and he's Bearcat.
I was about to say they doubled down on Bearcat because he no longer has Keith anymore. He's Bearcat Lee now. They got rid of the Keith.
Johnny Cage says, "Poor Keith." No, poor Bearcat. No, let's be happy for Bearcat. He's going to the main event. When Damian Priest defeats Big E, the next big challenger, the next big babyface champ, Bearcat Lee.
I'm actually book it. That would be great. Great.
Leroy says the moral compass is so gullible, he'll buy anything Phil is selling. When he's wearing that hat, how can you not?
Right now, I got a special. I'm selling stock on Damian Priest. If you want in, get it while it's just up here. It's like Dogecoin. You won't be able to afford it in a little bit.
And you're selling prints over at Art of Phil McNulty on Etsy.
Right. Etsy shop below. I'll hook you up with some Batman prints.
Yep. Next up, we get Dominic Mysterio versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory not only gets the win, he gets the selfie.
Can we talk about how hilarious the segment was to set this match up? When he went in and asked Dom to move aside because he wanted a picture with Rey Mysterio, and he's like, oh, you wrestle? This gimmick is perfect. I love this is a good US championship style gimmick. This is really good stuff from Austin Theory.
Absolutely. Now we get RK Bro versus the Dirty Dogs, since they just won the #1 contenders. Mm-hmm. And the Dirty Dogs, they're not getting it done. RK Bro gets the victory. Does RK Bro have any challengers? I guess still AJ and
Omos, and they played it again. So
Leroy says, "Sell me a book you draw, Phil. I have money with your name on it."
You got it.
Coming soon.
Yep.
Now it's main event time. Fatal 4-way ladder match. No surprises here. Like we said, 3 baby faces, 1 heel, We got a babyface champion. Of course, the heel wins. Your new number one contender, Seth Rollins. I'm sort of over Seth Rollins, but a good match and a good episode of Raw.
Yeah, I think Seth Rollins is what he is at this point. He's never gonna be a main eventer. It's not like he reminded me of a young Chris Jericho when he started because of his willingness to adapt and his willingness to change his gimmick and his willingness to make those steps up. We saw those steps and now he's just sort of flatlined. And I don't think unless he's taken off TV for a while, I don't think there's a real way to rehab it. He went from Chris Jericho to turning into Sheamus real quick.
Yeah, I just feel like we haven't had a break from Seth Rollins in forever. You don't want him to get injured, but it would be great to have him off TV for a while and freshen him up.
They really had a chance. The last time I think I really cared about Seth Rollins was the Messiah gimmick, which was the first time I cared for him in probably about a year or so. That was really the whole eye removal of Rey Mysterio. You could have really had him go to the top from there, and they sort of just let it, flounder a bit.
Yeah, no, a La Pod God's favorite, the horror show.
Yes, I think that was the first time we said anything positive in WWE. We purposely made a podcast just to talk about it.
Yeah, no, that was good times. So that does it for Raw. Anything stand out to you for the big season premiere?
Just Damian Priest. Whoever's been booking him, keep doing it because it's one of those genuine long-term builds where you see where the sky's the limit for him. So that was my big takeaway. What about you?
Guys like Austin Theory, Bearcat Lee, they're the future.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now it's time to this is what we always look forward to every week, Phil. Talking about NXT. The
Halloween Havoc.
The unofficial favorite brand of La Pod Gods.
It's so bad, it's good. It's the McDonald's of professional wrestling right now.
So they've done it for the last couple of years. They've revived my all-time favorite pay-per-view, Halloween Havoc. So good on them for keeping Halloween Havoc alive. And they have a lot of big matches last night. And it starts off spin the wheel, make the deal. And we get Scareway to Hell ladder match for the NXT Women's Tag Championship. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane versus Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada versus the champs Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. This was a really good match, but this is the new NXT, Phil. I didn't think it was going to happen, but we got new tag team champions.
I knew it was going to happen. I think wasn't Io drafted?
Was she?
Yeah, I think Io Shirai was drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, I had no idea.
So I think that was one of the actual stipulations that we saw. So I knew that there are going to be new champions, and I just thought Toxic Attraction was going to be it anyway. Because going into this,
They've been pushing them so hard.
I felt like they were trying to make a female undisputed era. And so that's why I kind of knew if Toxic Attraction won this match, then I wouldn't be so surprised by what happened later in the show.
You know who Toxic Attraction reminds me of? I was thinking about this today. Do you remember the Dollhouse from Impact?
Yes.
This is a complete Dollhouse ripoff. Dollhouse was Taryn Terrell, Marty Bell, and Rebel. And in our place, we have Mandy as Taryn Terrell. We have take your pick,
right?
Gigi Dolan and JC Jane as Marty Bell and the Rebel.
I got one more for you.
Yeah,
this reminds me of X Factor, the group with X-Pac, Justin Incredible, and Prince Albert. That's what they remind me of. Three people that they're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, the great thing for X Factor, they had that killer Uncle Cracker theme song.
Oh, I was watching. I was getting caught up. Sometimes when you just need a good break, and you want to watch something that you haven't seen in years. old Attitude Era WWE is just like it is what soothed my soul. And hearing Uncle Cracker for like a week was hilarious.
Johnny Cage says, at least the zombies didn't smell Ray's blood at the horror show. Yeah, the zombies got someone though at horror show. Who'd they get?
They got the Miz.
Yeah, absolutely. Emerald Avenger says, hail the pod gods. Thank you for joining us. And Lever says, I get that feeling after these streams. All right. Next up. So new tag team champions, Toxic Attraction. Congratulations. Then we go to we get a video package of NXT champion Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. They're pulling up to a haunted house that Johnny Gargano and Dexter Loomis set up. I thought we were getting a match between these guys.
Agreed.
But it was just like this vignette where they're Carmelo Hayes is trying to get back his North American championship. Kind of a waste. This was time filler.
Yeah, I thought maybe they could think about it. They could have made a quick cinematic match that they could have gone back and forth between the show by doing, but instead we got this very unoriginal Bruce Pritchard style vignette.
They love using that zombie ref.
My goodness.
We need an action figure of him. I would definitely buy it. Next up, we get Grayson Waller. He's dressed up as Dracula. He's hosting the event, even though he lost the match to LA Knight for LA Knight to be the host. What LA Knight needs to be figuring out how he can get out of his WWE deal.
He needs to start dropping title belts at people's feet too. I don't even care if he has it. He'll just go and drop it.
Yeah. It's a shame that he's probably, after Roman, he's probably the best talker WWE has.
Mm-hmm.
And he's relegated to this nonsense.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller, isn't he the guy with the boxer gimmick?
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh, terrible. All right. Next up, we get a squash match for this. Like it's kind of billed as a pay-per-view, but we get Joe Gacy versus Malik Blade. Even though it doesn't really make sense for a big event like this, I liked it because it furthered the storyline with Joe Gacy and Harlan. And Joe Gacy has become maybe my favorite guy in WWE.
I effing knew it. I am so glad. We're gimmick guys. Obviously, we're gimmick guys.
Yeah.
Gacy's got a great gimmick.
Absolutely.
And having Harlan with him as a beef, great gimmick.
Yeah. TMC wants me to share the screen. He wants to see the results I'm reading. It's going to ruin the magic, Leroy.
Right. Come on, we got to keep kayfabe alive.
Yeah. We get more with Grayson backstage. He's at a Halloween party. This is all filler. Then we get Diamond Mine, the best faction going right now in NXT. Maybe not as strong as the Bloodline, but right after the Bloodline, Diamond Mine. Fantastic. They throw out an open challenge, and Odyssey Jones comes out. Why is he fighting the Cruiserweight champ?
Well, apparently he's been, I kid you not, he has been advertised as being in the Cruiserweight division.
What?
Yeah, he has been advertised as part of the Cruiserweight division. So I guess the weight scale's gone. It's sort of like when when Crash Holly dropped it to Jeff Hardy, who dropped it to Raven. It's no longer a light heavyweight championship when you go from actual small guy to a big guy to a bigger guy.
It's basically the X Division title now.
Right.
And Odyssey Jones is the Samoa Joe of the Cruiserweights. But Roderick Strong gets the win. Diamond Mine's fantastic. Love the Creed brothers. I love Ivy Nile. They need to do more with the coach Hachiman. I was thinking maybe he was going to wrestle Odyssey Jones,
just to give Odyssey Jones a little bit of a push. But it seems like they have faith in Odyssey Jones. Yes or no?
I would think so. He seems like he would be someone who they need a cool name for him.
Right.
The Badger.
No, Bearcat. It's like now we're just picking random college football names and saying, all right, you are this week, you are
the Red
look,
Fox.
You're the Mountaineer Odyssey Jones.
Jaguar Odyssey Jones. I'm gonna come up with a good animal for him. He needs to find his spirit animal. But Roderick Strong gets the win. Next up, we get a trick-or-treat street fight for the NXT Women's title. Mandy Rose versus Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez gets the Undertaker last ride entrance on the motorcycle.
I know. Honestly, wasn't mad about it.
You didn't hate it?
I liked it. I felt like she was a badass. I was all about to say, you know what? Send her to the main roster.
Yeah, not bad enough to keep the title, though. She drops it to Mandy Rose. They strapped the rocket onto Mandy Rose in NXT. Her faction, Toxic Attraction, holds all the women's gold now.
Yeah.
Do you think this act makes it to the main roster together?
No. This is an undisputed era act.
Yeah.
Like it will never leave. They'll try to make it really
Mandy
big.
Rose to AEW confirmed.
once they forget to read her contract and see what day is her final day.
Right.
But I just think they're going for something, and I think they pulled the trigger on the wrong person.
Yeah.
And I think we all know who they should have pulled it on in the main event.
Right. So Dakota Kai makes her return in this match and hits Raquel Gonzalez to let Mandy Rose get the victory. Dakota Kai is someone I've just never really been a fan of.
No, her and Tegan Knox, I didn't feel like when they were a tag team and they split, that was like probably the worst storyline to set up that War Games match for the women's team.
Yeah.
So I just don't care about it, and I don't care about either of them. I don't think they really have it. But Raquel Gonzalez, put her on a motorcycle and shoo, I'll buy. You can buy. This is stock. You can buy low, people. Raquel Gonzalez.
We get a backstage segment with Braun Breaker and Chucky. I swear, I think his dad did a segment with Chucky.
Yes, he did. I was just about to bring that up. I think in one of the WCW Halloween Havocs was they had Chucky there. So
full circle for the Steiner family.
But you wouldn't know because his name is effing Braun Breaker. Come on, man. Just
everyone knows. Next up, lumberjack match for the NXT Tag Team titles.
Hold on. Lumberjacko-Lantern.
Right. Very clever. MSK versus Imperium. I'm surprised by the outcome of this. MSK drops the titles to Imperium.
You know, it's because Bruce Pritchard watches the show. And as soon as we said this thing, he probably said, what the hell are they doing? Checked it up. Saw the whole Radicals thing and said, well, we're just going to go with the boring guys.
Yeah, so all the Rascals had gold for 4 days.
Right.
No, it's no more. They did do a selfie before they dropped the belts, though. They had Trey Miguel on FaceTime or whatever.
Right.
They took a screenshot of it. So good for them.
But why is Imperium still a thing? Is Walter finally going to come over or no?
I have no idea. Imperium, I think the only time I got a little excited about Imperium was when Alexander Wolf joined the faction, just because I was happy for him after Sanity broke up.
What they need to do is, if the only thing that makes the main event happen is if Walter takes it and Breaker's the one who beats Walter, since Walter's never been like pinned or submitted.
Yeah. Next up, main event time. The fastest rising star in all of WWE, Braun Breaker versus NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. So they this is the new NXT. They were crowning their new people they're fully behind. Mandy Rose, Toxic Attraction.
Right.
Carmelo Hayes is already North American champ. It seemed like a no-brainer to me. I thought we were getting NXT champion Braun Breaker. Everyone loves him. Everyone raves he's a superstar. But no, Tommaso Ciampa beats him cleanly.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss, apparently, because the match was really good. And Breaker's an absolute stud. He was supposed to be green as goose shit, and he's like a coal, piece of coal that with all this pressure on him just turned into a diamond. And there's no reason why he should have lost this match because the match was incredible.
Maybe he's main roster bound.
Then he would have been drafted. I think they're gonna wait for him to draft him because he deserves the Finn Balor style of draft. When you draft the guy from NXT and make him champion, not that we don't want his career to be like Finn Balor, but when he was drafted and they debuted the Demon and they built him up, and if it weren't for that shoulder injury, who knew? Who knows?
Forget the draft. After WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania, he needs to debut.
Yes, that would be perfect for him. Just have him come out and just beat up dudes.
Yeah, and since it's it's always a super show the day after WrestleMania. He needs to confront Roman, who's still the champ at the time.
Oh, could you imagine? That would be almost a John Cena, Kurt Angle style face off of, okay, I see the present and I see the future.
Yeah. Because that's their two biggest stars right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Those promos would be great. And then you could pull off the whole Heyman thing, and maybe he brings up like, oh, your daddy could never, and that would be awesome just to have him be like, well, you know what, I'm going to be Roman's daddy, or just something like to get the Steiner name out there, and you have the whole, the whole family, The Rock is my cousin. Well, guess who my uncle is, just the whole lineage would be a fantastic. All right, let's book it.
Absolutely.
Monday after Mania, Breaker confronts Roman.
Yep, we called it first. So that does it for NXT. Overall, I didn't think it was terrible. I think they made the wrong call in the main event. We sort of saw the rating was on the wall for Toxic Attraction, especially with Mandy Rose. The North American title thing was weird, but we're getting a match this next week.
Yep.
And there's one last thing I wanted to talk about. I sent you a picture of this. AEW Dark is taking place, and it's taking place. These are the ones they're taping over in Universal Studios. There's a new tag team in AEW called Too Fast, Too Fuego. And it's Fuego del Sol, and he has a masked tag team partner. He's wearing a Fuego mask. He's wearing a singlet. And he has a tattoo on his chest that says Dream. It is Cody Rhodes teaming up with Fuego. What is this, and why is it better than anything Cody is involved on in the main storyline?
It's because Cody Rhodes has go away heat, right? But Cody Runnels is still a marketable act when done right. And he is hell-bent on not being a heel. He's like, I will stay a face no matter if they boo me. Dude, you're the same guy who criticized Cena for that. The same guy who said, you know what? If the money's there and the story's there, you got to become a heel. And now he won't do it. So it's just interesting to see that that's Cody's personality now.
Yeah, Cody has this weird friendship with Fuego del Sol. You can book a cameo from Cody Rhodes, not Too Fast, Too Fuego, but Cody Rhodes and Fuego. You can get a cameo from them for $995.
Fuego is apparently everybody loves him. The
Yeah.
Bucks love him, right? Cody loves him. He's just he's legit Sammy Guevara's best friend in the world. Like they're legit best friends.
Yeah, and
So
this is how he's gotten over on Sammy's vlog.
right. So it's amazing to see, how this guy, and I'm glad he's there. It is the Hunter Sean Waltman duo, isn't it? It feels that way. Cody just needs to, he's got to pull a Hunter. I love Triple H. I loved him as the wrestler. I loved him when he retired. Triple H was probably my favorite heel of all time. And what made Hunter stand out was he knew that he was never going to be the top face. He knew with The Rock and Austin, he was never going to be a top face, right? He's in AEW now where your top face can be anybody, but your top heel can be anybody too. And the fact that he's not capitalizing on that because the heels I would argue that the faces are probably better than the heels right now on AEW. So he has a legit opportunity to turn and make it a really good story.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We thought we were going to get this change in character for Cody. What was the point with all these Arn segments? Arn stalking his house and setting a fire outside it, and I thought maybe we're just getting a tougher, hardcore Cody, but he's still a good guy.
It just baffles me. It feels like Cody is the one guy who has creative control over what he's doing.
Yeah.
Outside of Punk, who's getting to pick anybody he wants to wrestle with, Bobby Fish.
Anyone.
I mean, Dynamite, though, think about this. Tomorrow night, right? Well, no, it's Wednesday today. I don't know tonight, Punk makes his Dynamite debut. Like, he's never wrestled live on Dynamite.
Yep, against Bobby Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tune in tonight. Phil and I will be discussing it on Sunday.
Yeah, a little Sunday Night Heat. We'll go over Impact and AEW.
Yep. So that will do it. Do you think we get a Braun Strowman debut on Impact anytime soon?
No.
No?
I think he was supposed to be on Bound for Glory, and I think it fell through.
Yeah.
I still think he's AEW bound. I still think he's gonna be Dan Lambert's heater. I still think he's gonna be the guy when the Inner Circle fights the three people like America's Top Team,
yeah,
I think they'll be like, and the newest signee, and then I think he'll come out as Adam Scherr.
Well, Bobby Lashley just got destroyed by Goldberg. Maybe he rejoins America's Top Team. Maybe King Mo returns to America's Top Team. Do you remember the years of them teasing King Mo on Impact?
God, yes, I do. That was when I was
Dixie
really.
Gardner was so proud of the King Mo signing.
Those were the dark days of Impact, weren't they?
Yeah. Johnny Cage says every time Cody comes back, he imagines Punk's pop at first dance. He thinks he's Dusty or something.
He's not even the best Rhodes in his family right now.
Oh man, Phil, that does it for this week. Where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimatedPhil and the Etsy shop below.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit the notifications. Also, check out US Assassin In Demand. Let's get this to 45,000.
Oh,
like I said, ordering the stretch goal rewards tonight. I'm going to start ordering the books next week. I hope to have Mike McMahon here end of November to sign all this stuff so I can get the books out to people in time for Christmas. The Fulfillment King always delivers, Phil.
You're better than Santa.
Absolutely. And on that, we'll see you on Sunday, guys. Thanks for watching.